Okay. Okay, welcome to this platform today. I'm so happy we could make it. While we're expecting others, we'll just start. Today we are going to be talking about pathways for international nurses to get licensed in Canada. The different pathways. I don't know if some of us have started any process or are aware of the pathways before. So we'll just talk briefly. Then if we have any question, then we can just type them in the comment section. Hello?
Okay, hello, can I hear you, please? I think it
Okay.
went up, or can I hear you? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. So I said we are going to be starting with we'll just discuss. It's going to be like an open discussion for every one of us so that we can all contribute. But I'm going to like discuss the different immigration pathways for internationally trained nurses to get their license in Canada. And so if you have any questions, we can put them in the comment section so we can answer the questions as they come. So, like we all know, I don't because before now, there's been a pathway for internationally trained nurse. Okay, let me explain what international. No, I'll use the word IEN. So IEN simply means internationally educated nurses. Sometimes some people say internationally trained nurses or foreign trained nurses. Since you are not trained in Canada, so you are considered internationally trained nurses. So they've had different pathways for nurses coming to Canada, and before they were using the NNS. Some provinces still use NNS, but there's always an update just to reduce the wait time for internationally trained nurses coming to Canada to get their license. So because NNS is quite a long process, and financially it's kind of draining for some people. So now different provinces, they are trying to make it easy for internationally trained nurses to get their license by applying directly to them. So we have provinces, we have the listed provinces we have in Canada are Ontario, we have Saskatchewan, we have Manitoba, we have Prince Edward Island, we have Alberta, we have New Brunswick, and we have Nova Scotia, and we have Newfoundland and Labrador, and we have the Northwest Territories, Yukon, and Quebec. So far, um, I think March 29, Nova Scotia came up with another pathway for internationally trained nurses to make it easier for them. Instead of going through NNAS, in case we don't know, NNAS stands for National Nursing Assessment Services. So it is an organization that, like CGFNS, that do assessment for internationally trained nurses. And after assessment, your reports, whatever report they give to you, will go to these different regulatory bodies in the different provinces. But now, provinces are trying to waive out NNS, but not all provinces yet. The listed ones now are Alberta, Nova Scotia. They are trying to waive NNS. So now people are using the opportunity to apply directly to these provinces so that they can get their license and then become a Canadian nurse. So I will start with Nova Scotia. March 29th, Nova Scotia came up with another platform for international nurses to get their without NNS. So everyone is taking opportunity of that one. So if you go to their website, I'm going to be sharing my screen so we can see the different pathways for internationally trained nurses. So before that one opens, so I don't waste too much of our time, they listed some countries there that should go through these pathways. The Philippines is one of them, India, Nigeria, which I'm so excited about, United States of America, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. So these provinces are qualified to apply directly to Nova Scotia without NNS. So now they've waved NNS aside. So they want people, internationally trained nurses from these listed countries to apply directly to Nova Scotia. So, and the changes took effect on March 29th, but they're going to open the portal by May 1st. That's next month, May 1st, 2023. So these listed countries, you just have to apply directly, but there are some eligibility criteria that you must meet. You must have a current licensure in your country in good standing. So these are things that we should take note of. When they say good standing, you don't have any problem with your nursing bodies in your country, like Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. So you are clean with them. So that's when they say that's what they mean by good standing. And you have to go through the application pathway. I think on the website they have the form. By the time they open it, there's going to be a portal that you can apply directly to Nova Scotia College of Nursing. So you must have two pieces of ID, birth certificates, or your passport. So if they mention Nexus card there, so that one does not apply to us from Nigeria. It is applicable to people Canadian and US. If they have admissible, they can be admissible to Canada using the Nexus card. But for us, we don't need that. So you just need your birth certificate, your international passports, and your driver's license or any government issued ID. So that can be used for your pieces of ID. I'm just going to see, I just want to share my screen. Okay, we have 3 people waiting so I have to admit them. Sorry about that. Okay. Are we okay? Okay.
Yes, please.
Okay. Are we seeing the screen? I'm sharing the screen. I'm wondering if we can see it.
It has not started showing yet. I think it's booting.
Okay. Okay. So like I was saying, okay, sharing's gonna stop. Hold on, please. I just want to share the screen so I'll make you all see what I'm talking about. Okay. So can we see the screen now? It's still showing loading. Okay.
I think it's still loading.
It's still loading. Okay.
Okay, it says come up. Okay, please, excuse me. I think some people are they're on the waiting room
Okay,
and
let me
they're
add
trying to
them now.
get in, please. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I think I added them already. Okay, are we all here? Did I add you all?
I think they've not been able to get in because it's just us who had been in the meeting from the start.
I don't know why I can't see them now. Did I add already? Because I can't see them actually. It's not showing on my screen. Who to add now?
Okay, maybe we just go ahead. I'm sure it will show up later.
Yeah, when they show up again, I'll add. Okay. Um, okay. So like I was saying, March 29, if you go through the screen, saying what I just said before, countries that are eligible for registration and licensure in Nova Scotia are Philippines, India, Nigeria, USA, UK, Australia, New Zealand, and they indicated there or a Canadian province or territory. This does not apply to us. So from May 1st, 2023, so if you are among these from these countries, you can apply directly to Nova Scotia College of Nurses for your RN licensure without applying to NNS. So NNS is waived out for us, and your current licensure in your country must be in good standing with any of all these countries that are listed above. And so, like I said, when they say good standing, it means that you are not subject to any outstanding complaints with your current regulator. And so the application process, so when the portal app opens in May 1st, you have to complete an application form with NSCN, which is Nova Scotia College of Nursing. Ruth, you are welcome. You have to submit 2 pieces of identification, and like the options are your birth certificate, your passport, your driver's license, or any government issued identification. And mind you, notarization is not needed for this. But for NNAS, if you are not from English speaking countries, you have to get your document notarized. So because these countries listed, they are English speaking country, like they have indicated, so they don't need document to be notarized. So that one, you should take note of that one. Then you must arrange for verification of registration from your current regulatory body. That means from Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. You must arrange that they send your documents from them directly from them to NSCN. Then also you have to submit proof of English language if it is required. So if you click on that link, we are not needed. It is wait for Nigeria, internationally trained nurses from Nigeria, not to do the English language proficiency. So, and also you must have your criminal record check. And these are what you need to get your application ready. So for now, there's no fee. No fee has been stated that this is how much they're going to charge or collect for the application process. So it is advisable that people get their documents ready before the May 1st, so that as soon as the portal opens, you get all your documents ready and you start applying. Because mind you, Nigeria is not the only country that is listed there. We have other countries, and everybody is looking and waiting for the portal to open so that they can just apply. So that as soon as because we don't know how many nurses they want, because as soon as they get the number of nurses that they want or they are looking for, they they might want to close the portal, they might go another different routes. And if you will go through the website, there's also a newsletter. I will encourage us to always check the newsletter for every update, because things, they keep updating and they keep changing different ways to make these things easy for us. So if you go through, like, I think the last update they made was April 5th. That update was, yes, if like the same thing, effective May 1st, registered nurses licensed in good standing in listed countries are eligible for registration and licensure in Nova Scotia immediately with no additional requirements other than passing the entrance exam. So, because they want to expedite this process. So, you get your identification ready, your piece of identification, you should get them ready. Then verification of registration. So this time now you have to reach out to Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria to get your licensure, everything ready that they want, so that as soon, because they are going to be sending it directly to NSCN for verification. Then also your criminal record check. So if you click, I think there's a link where you can click on how you can get your criminal record check done. I saw that in one of the sites, how you can get the criminal record check done.
Okay, hello, please, sorry, I think some people are in the waiting room, please.
Oh, some people are there, okay.
Yes, please, so that you just get them in. Thank you.
We could get them in. I don't know why I'm not seeing these people waiting. Okay. Okay, I just admitted Inyen. Did I pronounce your name correctly? Gabriel. Thank you all for joining. Okay. Okay. So you are all welcome to this platform today. For those of us that are just joining, we are just talking about the different immigration pathways to Canada for internationally trained nurses. So I can use the word comes in, like sometimes I say internationally educated nurses, IEN. Sometimes I say the internationally trained nurses. So it's the same thing. So the moment you are not trained in Canada, you are seen as internationally trained nurses. So I mentioned the different pathways you can actually move into Canada and get your. So Nova Scotia is doing that now, and Nigeria is listed among the countries that are needed to come into Canada without NNAS. So before, the NNAS was what was needed, but now they don't require NNAS for if you're applying to Nova Scotia, because they want to expedite the process for internationally trained nurses. So by May 4th, which is next month, they're going to open the portal. So I was saying that we should get the documents that are needed ready, which should be our identification documents. Your identification document could be your birth certificate, your driver's license, your international passport, and these are what you should get ready. And also, your notarization is not required, because if you've gone through NNS before, or you've seen the process of NNS, if you are not from English-speaking country, you have to get all these documents notarized. But now notarization is not required. So, and again, another important thing is your verification of registration from your current regulatory body. So for Nigeria, our Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, you have to reach out to them to get your verification of registration ready. So as soon as the portal is opened, you ask them to send this document directly to NSCN, because you are not sending it to yourself. It is Nursing and Midwifery Council that is sending it to them on your behalf. And criminal record check as well should be done, and that is just to say you are free from any criminal charges or any history of any criminal records. Because Canada will not want to admit anybody that has criminal record or bad record or anything that has to do with criminal stuff. So for now, the fee is under review. We don't know how much the fee is going to, how much Nova Scotia is going to ask internationally trained nurses to pay. But the most important thing is get all your documents ready. So how do you prepare for this? Like I said, gathering all your documents. And again, NCLEX is needed. So NCLEX is very important in all of this process. You have to get your NCLEX ready. But I don't know, I cannot tell you this is where you can write your NCLEX. I'm admitting somebody, Johnson. Okay. I can't really say approved centers for NCLEX exam. You can just go on Google and check out those ones. But if I have any information, I'm going to post them on the Telegram group where we could get information for our NCLEX. And English test. If you're writing the English test, you have to either write IELTS or CELBAN. And if you go through, like I was sharing my screen for the Nova Scotia thing, if you go through the requirements, you'll see that there is no age restriction. You have your licensure must be active, and there's no idea of how much the fee will cost. And as soon as you get your NCLEX ready, you can start your job search, because this is like a sponsorship program. The moment you get everything that they require from you ready, you submit to Nova Scotia College of Nursing, you can do your job hunting. There are different sites where you can actually get jobs, like Indeed, and Job Bank, GC Job Bank. I'm going to be putting those links in the description as well, so that we know that we are where to go, where we want to apply for jobs. So this is basically what you need for the Nova Scotia pathway for now. By next month, by the time they open the portal, everyone will know if there's any update. But for now, the most important thing you need to do is you get your pieces of ID ready. Verification of licensure from Nursing and Midwifery Council might take quite some time, because a lot of people now will be rushing to that place. So you have to follow up on that as well, and start looking for how you can write your NCLEX exam, NCLEX RON exam. I think that is what they want you to do. And also your criminal record check. So these are the things listed for Nova Scotia NSCN. So like you see in the screen, they are all listed out. So nothing is hiding here. Okay. Are we following? And so there's another one to ABATA. ABATA is also doing sponsorship program for nurses, internationally trained nurses. So this province is another one. And theirs came up April 4th this year. They opened they opened their portal for internationally trained nurses. If you are trained from Philippines, India, USA, Australia, Nigeria, Jamaica, New Zealand, and Ireland. So these countries, if you are from any of these countries, then you are eligible to apply for to ABATA. So they have their College of Registered Nurses of ABATA. It's called CRNA. So this is what they they indicated Nigeria as part of their program as well. So theirs is you must have NCLEX ready. Are we seeing the screen for the ABATA, the CRNA?
Yes, please.
Okay, good. So for the ABATA one, you have to have your NCLEX examination done and you must have passed the NCLEX. So what they do in the ABATA one is you get your NCLEX done within 12 months, even if you've not passed your NCLEX. After submitting all the required documents that you need to submit to ABATA, you'll be given a temporary work permit. That's one good thing about that one. You can be given a temporary work permit until you get, and you within 12 months or 3 times of writing your NCLEX exam and you have passed. So for that one, you have to apply directly to CRNA. It is called College of Registered Nurses of ABATA. I'm wondering, Johnson, I've been admitting you've been going off and on. I'm wondering if you are in. Okay. And also you have to get your education verified as well. So you have different organizations that you can use to verify your education. And it's in the portal as well for ABATA. And the good thing is for ABATA, they're collaborating with the government, CRNA, which is College of Registered Nurses of ABATA. They're collaborating with the government of ABATA and other regulatory body in ABATA to assist to help internationally trained nurses get jobs. So you can as well, and there are jobs. There are a lot of nurses that are giving testimony that they are getting jobs in all of this, Indeed, and in GC Bank, that's government, I think GC Government Bank of Canada or something, where you can apply and search for job as well. I'm going to put the link in the description as well so that we can know the job bank. Job bank is what it's called. So you can go there, search for job only if you've gotten your NCLEX RON done and you have passed. So that's it for ABATA as well. So the most important thing for ABATA right now is to get NCLEX RON done and then apply to CRNA. As you apply, they will tell you the next step to follow. Submit your verification from your Nursing and Midwifery Council as well. Then submit your piece of ID card, your identification as well. Then you get your NCLEX results ready. So if you could see the screen, it is listed there as well. They said we previously applied directly to CRNA and do not complete a credential assessment from NNS. So if you're applying to ABATA now, you don't need NNS as well. And you were previously or are currently registered in a Canadian jurisdiction, that does not apply to us from Nigeria. If you already passed NCLEX RN anywhere globally, and you are currently holding registration with one of these jurisdiction, like I mentioned earlier, Nigeria is part of it, Jamaica, New Zealand, and from any of these listed countries. Then if you've obtained verification of equivalent post-secondary education from one of the credential assessment options. So we have different credential assessment options. We have the WEST, we have the ICAS, and we have the ICES, where you could send in your documents to get your credentials assessed. Okay, so after getting all of these, you send everything to RNA.
Be quiet, I'm in a class.
Are we okay? Okay. So you get all of these documents sent to CRNA, and then you open a portal with them, and they will assess. And definitely they need nurses, so they are looking for nurses in Canada, in many of all these provinces. So as soon as you get your license, these are ways you can get your license. So ABATA is CRN is collaborating with the government of ABATA. So you go to check, even they have their Yes, go and apply directly for a job with all of these credentials that you have gotten. Job that they will get back to you, because I've been hearing of testimonies. I've been seeing nurses that have been getting called to tell them they are eligible to go to the next phase. So this is it for Nova Scotia and Alberta at the moment. Nova Scotia has started their own pilot program. Why? Alberta have started their own pilot program. Nova Scotia is going to commence May 1st. But before it commences, we have to get all our documents ready, because I also want us to know that Nigeria is not the only country that are involved in that are qualified to apply, but other countries. So everybody is waiting. So as it comes, just take it as it comes and start working towards getting all your documents ready for the process. That is if you have not started the NNS process with Alberta as well too, because Alberta has a pilot program where they sponsor you. They call it the sponsorship program. So they can, after getting all of this, if you've not started your NNS assessment, they can sponsor you. But if you've started your NNS, you have to also indicate that, and they'll tell you what to do about the process. I don't know if we got the message I just said, I just passed. I'm wondering if we have any question. Because in all of this, the most important thing I see in this is just to get your documents ready, and to place if you've not started, you search for places where you can get your NCLEX done. Like I said, currently I don't have any information where of accredited places you can get your NCLEX RN done in Nigeria. We can search that up, and if there's any information, I'm going to post that on the Telegram group as well, so we know. I'm just also going through. Again, we should also, these websites are open to everybody, so there's nothing hidden. So you can go on CRNA website, College of Registered Nurses of Alberta, check their website as well to know what is happening, to know the current updates, because each time they always want to change to see if there are other ways they could help internationally trained nurses to come into Canada. Because I like to go through the site with you for Alberta again. Registration requirement for internationally educated nurses in Alberta. All applicants are required to complete demographic information. So you have to go to the site CRNA, the online portal. It is called College Connect. Okay, and you must have gotten your NCLEX RN done before you open an account with them, and so you can submit your results, your exam information to them, and you have eligibility and if you've not done the exam, you can also apply to them. So they will give you, and you submit all your requested documents to them. So first thing first for Avatar, go to the CRNA site, you go to the College Connect site, and you submit all your post-secondary education. So it's all listed there. All applicants are required to complete equivalent post-secondary education, which could be met in several ways. Like they said, if you have studied in any of all these listed countries that they've mentioned, you submit your nursing certificate, your midwifery, or your BSc, or any certificate you have for nursing, you submit it to them. Then English language proficiency. So if you are needed to do the IELTS or CELBAN, that is what they take, IELTS or CELBAN. If you are needed to do that, they will also let you know. And also your currency of practice. So like I said, your Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria need to send in documents to them. Then your criminal record check, you have to do that as well and send to them. Then you must be of good character. Of course, that is needed. Your fitness to practice, you are okay to practice, you don't have any anything holding you back from practicing. Then also you have to do the jurisprudence exam for CRNA. Then you also have all applicants are required to hold liability insurance to obtain a permit. Okay, Churchill just messaged, thanks a lot for the information. Usually the past work history where one is asked if they work or if they have worked with hospital that has up to. So what's your question, Churchill? I'm aware that usually there's a past work history requirement where one is asked if they work or have worked with a hospital that has up to the 100-bed space.
Sorry, I didn't come. I was just typing fast, so I didn't finish my question.
Okay.
Does it still hold? Does that rule still hold?
Yeah, you just have to do your resume. It doesn't really matter you have worked with 100-bed space or anything. If even you are a newly graduated nurse, you can still apply. But in all of this, you have to also do your resume and put in all your work experience. It doesn't really matter you have to work in 100-bed space or something before you can apply to send in your resume. There are samples of resume online. You can as well check on those ones and see how you can construct your resume. Taylor is asking what's the difference between NCLEX RN and NCLEX PN for BNSC and RN in Nigeria. Okay, NCLEX RN is for registered nurses that have had university degree, and NCLEX PN is for the licensed practical nurse. Like in Canada, you have RN and you have LPN, or some province will say RPN. So it depends. So, but if you are asked to do NCLEX PN, so based on your assessment or based on what you submit to them, you can be qualified to get your NCLEX RN, or you can be asked to go do NCLEX PN, which is practical nurse. But normally NCLEX RN is for someone who has BSc from Nigeria. PN is for normally if you have your diploma, like the nursing we do, the 3 years program we have in School of Nursing back in Nigeria. So that's the difference. So after the assessment, you get to know which of the exams they will ask you to go write for CRNA. But you know what? I don't think at this stage we should really bother about if it's a practical nurse or your RN. Like the most important thing is you are trying to see how you can get licensed and come into Canada. So most times you come in and you have different pathways how you can get your RN as well. So it doesn't really matter if you want to apply because of your if they assess you on practical nurse or registered nurse. I don't know if we got that. Okay. And then they have their Abata Health Service website as well. You could check their sites for job. So that's after you've gotten all these things that are requested from you. So they have their site where they have different sites where you can actually apply for job. Like I said, you have Indeed. You just click on that province. When you go to Indeed or you go to Job Bank, they will ask you which province. Like you have to see options of which province you are looking for job. So you can click on put in Abata, and you see the list of jobs that will come up for you as a registered nurse or a practical nurse.
Okay, please, I have a question to ask. I believe we can. Okay, my question is, okay, lot of changes is taking place now with this application process. So, how specifically has it been made easier? Before you go to the NNAS, you have to do your transcript and all those problems and the rest. So, what is the measures? How has it been made easier now? What has been cut off to make the process easier? That's number one. Then my second question, for those that are registered nurses from Nigeria, how are we going to navigate that part of when the Nursing and Midwifery Council has to send there's a place that's talking about sending our something to the board of Canada and the rest. How do we manage that part with our system in this country? So those are my questions. Thank you.
Okay. All right, thank you. So that is a bit challenging, especially from the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. You have to connect with them. They will have to send your because if you open an account with them, there should be a form, like normally a request form that the government, College of Registered Nurse of Abata is requesting that I send my documents, my registration or verification of registration from you, NMCN, to Abata. So they have to fill out the form and put in all the information that they are requesting for and send directly. So that will be, definitely you have to pay some money for that. You pay some money to Nursing and Midwifery Council for them to get your verification prepared. Then they will have to then give them the address where they want where you want them to send it to. So everything will be in the portal after you've opened an account with them. So you have to know the address where you are sending it to. But normally you can just see that CRN, College of Registered Nurses of Ontario, if you can start that process going now, you don't really have to wait, because it's going to take a while, because a lot of people now will be bombarding Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria for that. So the address you can send that to should be on the website for the College of Registered Nurses of Nigeria. Then you talked about the College of Registered Nurses of Abata. They should have the address is on their site where you can send this stuff to. Then you also mentioned how to navigate the document that you are supposed to send to NNAS before, and now you are sending to CRNA. For NNAS, the process was a bit slow. So now this province provincial regulatory bodies from these provinces, what they are requesting from you now is not transcript per se. They're asking for your verification of registration from a Nursing and Midwifery Council. Because if you check what they asked, their process, they did not indicate that you should send to them. There's no request. You just have to send your post-secondary education. Normally you have a result from your nursing. those results, those certificate we have from Nursing and Midwifery Council, you can send them directly to them, to CRNA, because you've opened an account. So as you are sending your documents to them, they are uploading them in your file for you. And then if they want you to go and do an English test, they will also let you know when you open an account for them. Then your what's it called? I think there's also verification of, I saw somewhere where you can do like post-secondary education as well, where you can get your result assessed by either WES, ICAS, or any of these educational assessment body to assess your document, and they send directly to CRNA. I don't know if I answered your question.
Okay, yes, you did. So is it possible to apply for, like, applying for the Alberta, I'm applying for the Nova Scotia. Can I do more than one application?
Personally, I think you should just go with one, because even if you apply to any of them, you can't pull out from whoever you've applied to. You just stay with them. So if it's Alberta you want to go with, just stick with Alberta. If it's Nova Scotia you are going with, stick with Nova Scotia. Because like I said, for the fee for Nova Scotia, we don't really know how much it's going to cost us. So spending money on Nova Scotia and also spending on Alberta. But for the Alberta, the pilot program from Alberta is sponsored. So whatever amount you spend, they are going to pay you back. But for the first time, you are going to spend out of your pocket in all of this process. Do we get that? It's sponsored.
Okay, so that means for the Nova Scotia now is a sponsored stuff they are doing now. So we don't need to pay so much. We may not likely pay so much.
I'm not sure. Nova Scotia own, there's no
fee yet.
They're going to ask you to pay. Just get your document ready. By May 4th, when they open the portal, you apply and show in all your documents that are requested. It's not going to be a big thing. As you are sending in your document, you're uploading into your profile or your portal, and it's going to tell you the next step. What is it that you've not uploaded? What is it that is next for you to upload, right? So as soon as you complete all the documents that you are asked to submit, then they are going to tell you the next thing. And if you are in the portal, if you are qualified, they'll tell you what to do next. So everybody's anticipating for Nova Scotia now to see what's going to come up with that Nova Scotia. But on their portal, they've already indicated what we have to get ready for the process. But if you've started, also in their side, they also indicated that if you apply before May 1st, you will be in the old process and be required to apply to NNAS first. So that is the old process that they are trying to take out. If you apply before May 1st, you have to go through NNAS. But if you apply from May 1st, they have to waive out NNAS for you. If your IELTS, you said can the IELTS academic that was used for UK, if it's 2 years, it's still valid. It's still valid, but they require IELTS general, not academic.
What about for those of us that have written what about for there's this IELTS UKVI? Can it still be used in Canada, or is just the pure IELTS general?
Yes, I'm not sure, because I know what they need for this is IELTS general, not IELTS academic.
There is the UKVI that we use for UK. Is it can it still, or it just be the normal IELTS?
If the UK, I don't know about the IELTS UKVI,
Okay.
I don't know about that one. I don't know if it's under academic or
And there is
or
the academic and the general, but it's specific to the UK.
no, I
So,
don't think so, because I
okay.
know for this program for Canada, it is IELTS
General.
general.
Okay.
Yeah. So Churchill is asking, I started the Avatar program. There's a place for uploading transcript. Although I am here to submit because I'm waiting for my transcript. So you have to hurry your school to send the transcripts, and then so you can send to them for the Avatar program, Churchill. Yes, the UK is for, I think it's for your UK immigration only. I don't think that is what is needed for Canada. Is there any more question? I just think, you know what, we have to just get all our good thing for some of us that have started the process. Just stay with whichever province you are with now and be following them as they are asking you to submit your document. Just be sending it to them. Because like I said, we are not the only one. Nigeria is not the only country that is indicated. We have other countries that are also eligible. So that makes us we have to get all our stuff ready on time and follow up with our schools and nursing and midwifery council, because nursing and midwifery council is going to be a great challenge. I don't know how it is now, because I don't know about nursing and midwifery council as at now, because I haven't done anything with them in recent time. So I don't know how fast they will be or how busy they are now, because a lot of nurses are applying to them. So please, can we get a rundown of all the documents needed? Sure. I think I missed the question. Okay, someone is asking, what's the average time for all the process, including travels? I mean, do you have any idea? No, I don't have an idea. But right now, there's shortage of nurses in Canada, all the provinces. So that's why you see them coming up with different pathways on how to get more nurses. So it's not going to be as soon as you get in your document that is needed. So it's not going to take, because I think I've heard of some nurses saying in 3-6 months they've gotten they've even arrived in Canada in 3-6 months. So it depends. So I can't tell if it's 3 months, 6 months. So it depends on, it's individual based, and depends on how fast you get your documents to them and how quickly your everything is assessed and everything is done and submitted. But if you start the process now, I think it's going to be fast. But I can't say it's 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months. Okay, so the documents, rundown of all the documents needed. For Nova Scotia document, Tehila Madu is asking, please, can we get a rundown of all the documents needed? Now, like, if you go through the Nova Scotia portal, like is listed there, look at it. I don't know if you are seeing my screen here. So when can I apply for the expedited process? The application form for the expedited process is not available until May 1st. But if you've applied before May 1st, you have to go with the old process, which is applying through NNS. But now that's not what we are looking for. So eligibility criteria, Nigeria is listed among those that are eligible to apply, and you must be in good standing. So that you should take note of. And registration essential requirements. Identification documents, like I said, is there. You have to submit 2 pieces of identification with your application. you don't need to notarize these documents. If you want to go to see the list of documents that are needed, you can. There's a link there you can also click on. It's going to show you the list of the identification documents you can submit. I just clicked on that. It's still loading. Verification of registration, that is from your Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. We require a verification of registration from your current regulatory body. Our current regulatory body as at now is Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. So you have to get that document ready. Okay. And criminal record check. So now, like you see, there's a form here. There's a form here that says registration licensure verification form. So you click on this link. It's going to print out a form out for you. This form is what you will send to Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria. They fill out this form and send directly to NSCN. Did you see that there? So this is what they need for your verification of registration. Criminal record check. They require a recent criminal record check to check your background. You must arrange for the CRS, that's criminal record check, to be sent directly. So everything should be sent directly to NSCN from the agency that is performing it. So there's a link also in one of the, I think there's a link I saw where you could, when you click on that, it's going to direct you to the form for the criminal record check. It's there. If you go through that site, everything I'm going to put after this video, I'm going to put them on that Telegram group and also in the video here so that we can all go back and see, but this is recorded so we can check and see as well. Then English language proficiency. International nurses who have completed their entry-level nursing programs and established registration and licensure in one of the 7 designated countries have been deemed to have met the English language requirement. So if you are from any of these listed countries, you don't need IELTS. You don't need the English test. That's for Nova Scotia. But they made something, they wrote something there. If you are licensed in Nigeria, for example, but you did not school in Nigeria, and you schooled in any of these countries that are not in the list, for example, I don't think, let's say Ghana is not there, and you schooled in Ghana, and Ghana is not in the list, and you got your registration, you transfer registration from Ghana to maybe Nigeria or sort of, they will determine the right IELTS or not. So that's what that statement means. If you are established licensure in, but you are not educated in one of the 7 designated countries, you may need to submit evidence of meeting the English language requirement. We will advise you if this is the case. So they're going to advise you based on its individual base. So they're going to tell you if you need your IELTS or not. The examination, you must have passed the NCLEX RN. If you do not need to retake it and you are not eligible for full practicing license. So if you have already passed the NCLEX RN, you do not need to take it. But if you have not passed the NCLEX RN, you will have to be eligible for a conditional license. So for Nova Scotia after they opened and you submitted all these things, I've not done your NCLEX RN before, they will tell you, okay, we'll give you a temporary license, but you have to write your NCLEX within 12 months. Okay, that's that way. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can. We can see your screen, please.
I saw Oruese was asking. No, we cannot see your screen.
We can. I think it was initially. We can see your screen now.
Okay.
Yes,
I can see your screen. I can see it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So this is just straightforward for Nova Scotia. It's very straightforward. You get all your documents that they've listed out, and then you you submit what they ask you to submit. So like I was trying to check the identification document that you need. It's the same thing that opened. You don't, yeah, submit 2 pieces of identification. Options include your birth certificate, your passport. The Nessus card is not applicable to us in Nigeria. It's for Canada and US applicants. Driver's license, Canadian government issued ID, citizenship card, or international passport. So these are the identification document that you need to submit. So now they say for nurses outside of Canada, arrange a criminal record check. So there's a link there where you could click on for your criminal record check. So it's going to open up for you. The link that will open up is not opening here for me. Yeah, it's right here. If you go through the questions and answers, somebody asked, how do I obtain and submit a Canadian or an international CRO criminal record check? You have to click on any of these things here, and they will lead you to the next stage, how you can obtain criminal record check. Are we all clear with the Nova Scotia one? Is quite straightforward. Are we all clear with that?
Yes, we are clear with the Nova Scotia. But I want to quickly ask a question about the NCLEX for the Nova Scotia. Is it like if one has not passed it for 1 year, the person can apply temporarily?
Yes, there's going to be a temporary license, like is indicated there. They said there's going to be a temporary license. If you have not passed NCLEX RN, they're going to give you a temporary license, but you must try and write your exam within 12 months, or you write first time, second time you did not pass, third time you should try and pass it. So if eventually you did not pass NCLEX RN, I think they are going to ask you to do a bridging program to meet up with the requirements.
On my own question, hello, please, can you hear me?
So I can hear you.
My own is this: for the Nova Scotia, since maybe the individual did not have the money to write the NCLEX in Nigeria, can the person get to Nova Scotia before writing the NCLEX exam?
So you have to apply directly. You will apply, do all the application process with Nova Scotia, and then
Yes.
you get your there's a job search thing you can apply through all this job bank Indeed thing, and if you are qualified, you just have to let them know that you have not passed NCLEX and you are planning to write your NCLEX, or you've written NCLEX and you've not passed once. So they'll tell you definitely what to do next. The most important thing.
My own is that my problem is that I have not written before. When I went through the proceedings, it will cost me about $1 million plus. Why don't I use the money to do my registration, come to Canada, maybe start the work within the framework, within the frame time of maybe 3 to 4 months or 6 months before even bringing my family? I apply for the NCLEX there, write it there. Wouldn't it be better off than stressing someone's self to UK or South Africa or Philippines to write that exam? Those money, we are talking about financial constraints here.
I get your point, but if you go look at this screen I'm sharing now, it's stated here that all applicants must successfully take the NCLEX RN, if not already done so. However, note that they may also be eligible to enter practice with conditional license while attempting the exam.
Okay.
So that means you can still you can still get your temporary license while attempting to write the exam. So you just let them know that you've not taken NCLEX.
Yeah.
You try and take NCLEX. So they will give you a conditional license to practice, right? They'll give you a conditional license to practice, but you have to make sure that you let them know that, okay, and after, when they give you a conditional license to practice, they will tell you when you are expected to, the deadline you are expected to submit your NCLEX.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Do you have any more questions?
I would like you to please, with this flyer now, these ones we are seeing on our screen, can we just follow the procedures and do the
Exactly.
registration and all that? All right.
Everything is there. I'm going
All
to
right.
share, I'm going to drop everything on the, I'm going
Telegram.
to put it in the Telegram group so that we can
All
all
right.
follow. I will put that as soon as we end this thing. I'm going to put every link on the Telegram group.
Okay. My
So that-
question now is this again. I worked in a facility. It's a government-owned facility for 13 years before
Okay.
leaving that state to Lagos State because of marriage and all that. So now when I want to write maybe my supervisor or anybody, who are those? Will I see collect? Because I'm new in Lagos, about 2 years now working in Lagos. So how am I going to write? How is it the former employer that will write to to Canada, or this present one, or the two of them?
So if you can get the two of them to write to the college, the regulatory bodies, that's not a bad thing. Normally they will say within 5 years of your nursing practice.
Okay.
They'll say within 5 years of your nursing practice, you should get your employment verification or anything from your employer. So you've worked maybe 1 year, anything from 1 year and above, you just try and send in from your employer to them. So it's usually within 5 years.
Okay. So I can get from the two, if
You
possible.
can get, yes, you can get from the two if possible. That's
All right.
correct.
Thank you, ma'am. All right.
You're welcome.
Sorry for asking another question. This one is just like
Go ahead, please.
I'm talking about the times and conditions in Canada. I hope they are flexible compared to where we are coming from, because we talking about searching for better job opportunities and life for ourselves and for our descendants, especially our world. So my question now is, I hope we will not be having it, because I have a friend, we have friends in UK that most of them, they were planning to move to Canada in terms of payment and all that. I know fully well that it is better off than Nigeria that we are coming from, but we need to be sure, because you are there, you've tested the two, you've known the good, the bad, and the ugly. So that's my own question is coming
If
from.
I may ask, what do you mean by the expense? Is it the living expenses you're talking about, or the traveling expenses?
Yes. Not the traveling expenses. We know that it must definitely involve money. We know that. It is the living expenses over there in Canada.
Yes, it's comparable compared to how much money you make. My own personal opinion, living expenses in Canada is higher than living in Nigeria, though, but it's comparable to, you work and earn your money and you pay bills, right? So you have to watch out, like you have different policies where, like Abata, their tax rate is different from Ontario. Ontario is 13%, Alberta is 5%. So it depends on where you think you will be comfortable in to settle more easily and then get a job, then you settle with your family. So I don't think it's something that you should be scared about, but definitely it's good to put it into consideration as well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You need to know the pros and the cons before moving.
Yes. Yeah.
So now thank God that you be to tell me now when people are talking about Alberta and Ontario, I should be able to know that okay, if I'm going for Alberta, go to the Buffalo, I'm not late. So I should be able to know that I will be talking about let me go for this and for that. But with my own with what I've been able to gather with this little time that I joined this group, this Zoom now, I've come to realize that different provinces have their own demand. Alberta has its own, Ontario has its own, Nova Scotia too.
Sure. So each province they have their different ways of doing things, right? So they have their
Yes.
different price, different living fee, cost of living. Cost of living in Alberta is different from cost of living in Ontario, different from cost of living in Nova Scotia, from Prince Edward Island. So it now depends on what will suit you. Some people, no matter how much it is, they want to still stay where it is. So it's individual based. If it's that one, I might be doing a video on that again. Anytime I'm ready to do that video, I'm going to post that on the Telegram group. But the most important thing for us now is to check on how we can get our license, because that is the cocoa for us. So the moment you get your license to practice in any of these provinces, you can as well transfer it to any province of your choice. Let's say, for example, you've done your Nova Scotia, you've done Ontario, and you've gotten licensed in Ontario, and you don't think you want to live in Ontario, you can transfer your license to Alberta and say, okay, and it's very fast when you are transferring license. It doesn't take time to transfer your license from one province to another. I'm wondering if we have any more questions. I just want to, like I always say, I just like to encourage people, because me personally, I've been here for a couple of years now. I would say it's 6 or 7 years I've been in Canada, and I've seen the difference. I worked in Nigeria before. I worked in Nigeria for like 13 years before I moved to Canada. So I've seen both sides. So it's worth it. Initially, you might find it so difficult or tough, but everything has to do with determination. You just want a better life for yourself and for your
Life.
family. So I think that's why most people are doing this. Sometimes it's not all about the money, but people just want to be comfortable. Like, you are making the money, you are seeing what you are spending your money on. Unlike maybe in Nigeria, you are spending money, you are having money, and you are even scared of spending because security and other things. So I I think it's worth it. It's worth to try, to give it a try. And
So I'm really interested. I'm
it's
interested. My fear is about the UK thing, and I don't think I want to go down with UK. The Canada only, I think, is the best as far as I'm concerned, because I know fully well that with what I've been hearing, and even now talking to somebody that is there, that has already know the pros and the cons, I think I'm convinced. Maybe I will go for the Nova Scotia. I'll be waiting. Maybe I'll get my things ready. Then once it is May 1st, we start the application.
You start your application because we have a lot of people from different countries that are waiting for that to open. So as soon as the portal is open, people will just start throwing in all the documents. And we don't know, like I said, you don't know how many nurses that they will be needing, right? But there is shortage of nurses here in Canada, in all the provinces. Even where I'm working, we have there's nurses born out. Everybody is stressed. So that's why they are looking for nurses. So it's good to give it a try. Churchill, I will encourage you to just continue with the avatar process that you are in already. Just continue with that. Any document that you are asked to submit, try and get them ready and upload them. And for job as well, as soon as you get your license from Abata, just apply to for jobs in Job Bank, Indeed websites, and you'll be lucky and you get a job and you get sponsored to move into Canada. So that's another good one. Okay, so if there's no more question, I would like to call it a day, and I really appreciate us for attending. And if there's any other thing that you guys want us to talk about, you can put them in the Telegram group. Then I see, and we can talk about. We can come again on another day and discuss how to move forward. And I'm going to be dropping the links again. Like I said, I think I dropped some of the links here in this chat, but I don't know if it's going to wipe out. But I'm going to put them on the Telegram group so that we can see and follow. But if we have any question, please do not hesitate to put in your questions there, and we're going to see that and follow up as well. Okay. All right. Thank you all for attending.
Thank you.
I hope to be seeing us all shortly in Canada.
We pray so. Thank you, ma. God bless you.
All right. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right.
Okay,
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Thanks.